they deserved to perish together. Sir Lord Lorcan. Once upon a time, in a land long since burnt to ash, there lived a young princess who loved her kingdom. The day is finally here, my friends. Welcome to my Throne of Glass reading vlog. I picked up this little bad boy in January of 2023, so that means for over a year now, I have slowly been making my way through this 8-book high fantasy series, my first ever high fantasy series of this length. And it has been a long journey, but boy was it fun. Unfortunately, I did not vlog Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, or Heir of Fire, but I did read both Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire in a 24-hour reading vlog, which I will link up here. And I also have vlogged the entire original ACOTAR trilogy, ACOTAR through ACOWAR, which I will also link. I'm actually gonna compile all of my Sarah J. Maas related reading vlogs in one playlist, so if you'd like to just check that out, it's in the description box. It's a playlist on my channel. Today's reading vlog focuses on the last 4 books. We have Queen of Shadows, Empire of Swords, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. And before you ask, yes, I did read Empire of Swords and Tower of Dawn as a tandem read. So if you want to watch me read these 4 iconic fantasy novels, then keep on watching. I do want to warn you though that this video will have spoilers. I will be talking about plot points, characters, names, everything. So if you do not want to be spoiled for anything that's going on in these 4 books, please click off and check out another one of my videos. But for anyone who's ready to just come with me on this ride, I think we should just go ahead and get into it because I feel like this is going to be a very long vlog. I have been filming this for months and I've filled up, I think, 2 SD cards full of footage. So let's just go ahead and hop in, shall we? Let's start the reading vlog. So it is currently November 27th and I am on a mission to finish Queen of Shadows by the end of the month. And so I'm currently on page 464. It's getting really good. A really pivotal scene just happened where Manon and Dorian meet for the first time. And it's actually like the first time that we get a real sort of sense that Dorian is still in there, you know, that like the demon hasn't fully just taken his ass. And for some reason, Manon is what sparks that. We all know where this is going, and I'm into it, bitch. Because I love Manon. I love Manon. We really get to know a lot more about her in this book compared to when we got introduced to her in the last one, and now she's one of my favorite characters. Like, my favorite characters in this series are Rowan, Dorian, and Manon. And then I'll probably say Aelin. In that order. Living, laughing, loving, girl bossing. And Arobyn's dead. I'm truly thriving. We just got an Aelin Manon showdown where Aelin decided to spare Manon because you can tell like immediately, even though they're both trying to kill each other and Manon's injured Rowan and there's tension, but you can just tell that Manon and Aelin, they're like, we see each other, we good, basically is what happened. Dorian is back. Dorian is free. Team Dorian for life. I'm so glad that Dorian is back. I just, wow. There's like so much shit we gotta catch up Dorian on. What the fuck? Like, I can't believe we're gonna get Dorian perspective again. Like, actually. I still don't give a fuck about Kayal. Nothing's changed in that department. Kayal is... And I'm currently listening to Daddy's Home. Hey Daddy by Usher. It's only right. Okay, I can't lie. I am kind of tearing up at Kayal and Dorian's reuniting. I did not expect to get a little teary-eyed for Kayal. Don't look at me. I can't deal with Aelin hitting Lysandra in the face with a fucking apple core because she's a crow. We're at Terrasen for the first time. Page 645. We have stepped foot in Terrasen of pine and snow. Only 3 chapters left. Literally took me 2 months to read this book. I'm not even kidding. And honestly, it was a great time. Aww. That it was sweet. That was kind of unlike her other endings where like so much happens and there's this like huge cliffhanger. Like you don't really get that. It kind of wraps up pretty nicely. Like there are some things that you know are left unanswered that we're gonna figure out in the next book, you know, like you kind of know where we're going, but there's not like a big plot twist, big crazy cliffhanger, and I kind of like that. Like my heart kind of needed that, honestly. Long last, Aelin, Ash River, Galathinius was home. I need to sit and marinate on that for a little bit before I decide like the exact rating. It's definitely gonna be like a 4, 4.5, 5. It's gonna be high. It's just fun. It's so fun. And Aelin is so girl boss. Like I just love that Sarah J Maas isn't afraid to let her female main characters be girl bosses. And they act like girlies. Like they're empathetic and they cry and they get angry and they get snarky. But like the character development in this book and the growth we saw from Chaol, from Aelin, from Lysandra, from so many characters was great. It was great. I annotated the fuck out of it. I am done reading for today though. I binged like the last 250 pages of this like in a day and a half. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, maybe read something mind-numbing and silly. I think by the end of reading this series, Throne of Glass will definitely be better than ACOTAR in my opinion, like in my ranking, I guess. I like that this series is focused more on the plot and more on the world building and more on the magic system and more on like the politics. ACOTAR kind of just feels like Sarah J Maas is like writing fan fiction about her own characters, which is fun. If you are a romance girl, start with ACOTAR. If you're gonna like get into Sarah J Maas. If you prefer something other than, if you're like not a romance heavy person, you like fantasy, you care more about the plot, then I would say start here. I haven't even dipped my toes into Crescent City yet because I just feel like I need to finish this series first. Woo! Finally fucking finished it. Nice. I will see you when I see you when we start the terrifying tandem read. Hello. It is a dreary, snowy, cold Thursday morning. It's actually December 1st. I think I'm ready to start the tandem read. Who knows how long this is gonna take me. If Queen of Shadows took me 2 months to finish, boy, we might be here for a while. We are starting it. And I went ahead, made my different tabs. So these are my tabs for Tower of Dawn, and then these are my tabs for Empire of Storms. I didn't do a key for any of the other books on like the colors. They've just been kind of random. So I don't know if I'll do a key this time. Probably not. I'm just lazy, honestly. Keys stress me out. I never know like what to put in the key until I'm like done with the book. And then I also went and made myself a little DIY bookmark for the tandem read. And it has little check marks of the different chapters and everything. So I'm just gonna use this as a guide. There's really, really cute ones on Etsy that I loved, but I just thought I could make myself one and save me a bit of money. So I just did this yesterday. With that being said, I think we are ready. This is definitely like the longest book, the longest thing that I've read in like one go. So wish me luck. I need it. Hello friends. So it has been a few days and I figured it was time for a check-in. We've definitely made some progress on our books. We have started tabbing, we have started annotating. I'm currently on chapter 19 of Empire of Storms, which is about page 175. And then I am on chapter 15 of Tower of Dawn, which is page 190. So I think I'm about like 20% of the way through both books. And I must say I'm actually surprised at how much fun I'm having, specifically the Tower of Dawn. Like there is a plot line going on here with Miss Irene and Chaol that I am just like loving. She's kind of healing him, and there's definitely like, I never really cared for Nesrin and Chaol. Maybe that's just me, but they're both kind of like entertaining different people. I don't know if they're doing that just to like get them as allies or if there's actually gonna be like potential other romances that start. But like I'm really loving Irene and Chaol's dynamic. And honestly, there were some parts where he was like feeding her the tea like after they were like healing for like 5 hours and they were just so exhausted. And when he was like helping her drink the tea because she was so tired. Like, why was I giggling and kicking my feet at Kayal? At Kayal motherfucking Westfall. Why is he growing on me in this book? Like, now that he's kind of lost everything, I'm like, oh wait. As for Empire of Storms, there was a bunch of shit that just happened with Manon and the 13 because Manon ended up killing a bunch of Yellowlegs and was caught. And as punishment, Manon's grandmother was about to kill Astrid, Manon's second. And then at the last second, she attacked her grandmother instead, and they all 13 just like left. So the 13 are like on the run now. They've gone rogue. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they are abandoning Morath and Manon's grandmother. So that's interesting. We have Dorian and Rowan still heading to, they're on a journey somewhere. I don't even remember where they're going. Wherever the ships are. That's basically where we're at right now. I'm gonna keep reading and I'll check back in when I have more updates. Do you like my sweatshirt? I just opened it today. It's a little bit wrinkly, but it's so cute. This is written by Emily Henry. Ugh. We've got a reading update. I just got to page 334 of Tower of Dawn, which is to part 2. Basically, we're following two different stories right now. Nezrin and Kayal have like broken up, and Nezrin basically ghosted his ass. She left a letter, and her and Sartak have left. They've dipped. They're going off on an adventure. And then Irene and Kayal are still, you know, in the healing process, but things are definitely getting like romantic. You can tell that they're starting to develop feelings for each other. Kayal has told Irene about the Vogue and everything, so she's kind of like in the know now. So we're making progress here, and I'm honestly just glad that Nezrin and Kayal like figured their shit out and actually like split up, because I feel like part 1 was just kind of like building up that entire thing. So I'm excited to see what revelations we get in part 2, because I feel like this is going to be more of like the plot development, whereas like this was more of the character development. That's my guess. And then for Empire of Storms, I'm on page 276, chapter 31. In this, we finally have Dorian and Rowan are reunited with Aelin and Lysandra, and they are trying to, I think currently they are trying to get Manon to ally with them. And we also have Lorcan and Elide that are still on their little journey, and they really have started to like open up to each other. Specifically, Elide opened up about her uncle, even though she still hasn't told Lorcan her real name. She's going by her mom's name. But she did open up about her uncle and the stuff that her uncle did to her and her leg and everything. And Lorcan offered to kill her uncle for her. So that's kind of a slay. Like, I know Lorcan is like an asshole and he's supposed to be, you know, kind of a bad guy and have no feelings and emotions. Like, he literally treats emotions like a sickness. It's pretty funny. But you can tell that he's like, he has a little soft spot for Elide. And I kind of ship it. Like, he literally was talking about how stupid Aelin and Rowan are because, like, love ruined everything. Love had broken a perfect killing tool. Lorcan had wondered if it would take him centuries more to stop being so pissed about it. Aelin had chosen Rowan, a prince with no crown, no army, no allies. They deserved to perish together. He's so funny. I thought that was kind of sweet that him and Elide are kind of, like, bonding low-key. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. We're about 50% of the way through Tower of Dawn, and then Empire of Storms like probably 40%. But on the tandem read checklist, I just finished the whole first half, so we are moving on to the back. Is Lorcan about to die? Like, I'm not fucking around. Is Lorcan about to die? Nah, I'm gonna be so pissed off. Okay, we're good. Oh my god, Rowan like stepped in. I really thought Fenris was about to kill Lorcan to save Elide. I was about to be pissed the fuck off. But you know Sarah J Maas likes to fuck with you. You know, she likes to tease you and whip you around a little bit. Lorcan's not gonna die, okay? Lorcan's not Not in this book. Not in this book. Damn, this is a long ass fucking chapter. I'm on chapter 46 of Tower of Dawn. I do ship Irene and Gale, but I did not need the smut scene. I did not need the Kale smut scene. I just don't like Kale like that. He kind of gives me a little bit of an ick. No, because Aelin Galathynius is Taylor Swift. Like, if Taylor Swift, instead of being a pop star, was a fae queen who had to take over the world, they would kind of be the same person, because she had red hair at the beginning of Queen of Shadows when she went to Arabin and visited with him, and we were led to believe that she dyed her hair red, one, because obviously she needed to be in disguise. She didn't want Chaol to see that she was there. And then two, Arabin liked redheads. That was Arabin's type anyway, but there was a third ulterior reason. That's because she was pretending to be Ansel the entire time, so that Ansel would find out, know, and get back to her. Like, I'm a mastermind. Yeah, I definitely think Empire Storms is going to be my favorite book in the series so far. I think it's on the way to getting my first 5-star, just because of all the little ends and all the little tiebacks to previous books in the series, even all the way as far as Assassin's Blade, the prologue. Wow, Sergi Mass, you got me. You got me with this one. Oh my god. Why did Dorian have to bring up her grandma in the middle? Like, I get what you're trying to say, but it kind of took me out of the moment. Dorian said, "We're not done, you and I. We are not done here." Yes. Yes, sir. Like, yes, sir. I'm now on chapter 63 of Empire Storms. Manon and Aelin just went into the Witch Mirror together, and we have no idea where it's taking them. But the girlies are bound together, and they are gonna fight whatever it is. Period. Well, I was right about one thing. They locked her ass in a box. Maeve got her ass. They said, doot, 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 taking you with me in this iron box, babe. They whipped her ass to shreds beforehand, too. Damn. Of course, Sarah J. Maas had to throw in, they're mates. They've been mates the whole time. It's supposed to be a shock, but both of them low-key knew. They just didn't low-key tell each other, and now suddenly the mating bond's there, and we're suddenly using it. We love how stuff like that just conveniently happens for her. But I'm here for the vibes, so I don't even care. I'm sorry, the stuff that Lysandra admitted to Adian about the bloodline and continuing it, and how she was going to shift as Aelin and pretend like Aelin was still alive. Gagged. 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 Well, folks, they said it couldn't be done. Nobody said that, but I did do it. I completed the over 1,200 page tandem read, and I completed Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. Woo! In all seriousness, I am so glad that I did the tandem read. I'm so glad I read them together, because now looking back, it did take me like about 2 months to complete it. It really doesn't feel like it was that daunting, that it was that difficult. I paced myself. Making this little bookmark really, really helped. I will just show it to you on the screen so you can pause and take screenshots if you want to like replicate it. I got the chapters from someone online, and I also listened to them on audio as I read, which is really helpful. The audiobooks are great. They're all narrated by the same woman, and she does a great job with everyone's like different little accents and stuff. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed both of these. Let's start with Tower of Dawn, I guess. Let's start here, because this is the book that I feel like everyone kind of dislikes in the series, but honestly, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I mostly just cared about Irene. Like my Goodreads review states, Irene carried this book, like this entire book. I only really cared about her plotline. It was interesting to see Chaol's like character growth and the stuff he kind of come to realize in this book. But as for like Nesryn and Sartak, I'm so sorry. I just like could not be bothered. And it sucks that Nesryn just keeps getting the short end of the stick. Like, she does not like to see Nesryn win. I thought Sartak was actually gonna die when they thought he died, and then when he didn't actually die, I was like, okay, fuck you. Literally on page 595, when he's all like, I wish we had time. I loved you before I ever set eyes on you. Like all that. I was like, okay, kill him off. That's crazy. Nesrin's like going through it. Wow, what did she do to deserve? And then of course, no, he's actually fine. He didn't die. He's fine. The whole Nesrin Sartak thing, I didn't really care about personally, but I did care about Irene. I think she is so interesting, and the way that like you get the connections from the healer and the assassin. Is that what it's called? The novella from Assassin's Blade. The healer and the assassin, like the way that you get those tiebacks in this book, and they come full circle at the end with Kale, and it's just, it was really good. That was definitely my favorite part of the book. This is other stuff that I didn't really care about. I did not like any of Sartak's family. I only liked the healer on High. She was like the only other character that I actually enjoyed besides Irene and Kale. So yeah, but with that all being said, I guess that kind of sounds like a negative review, but I still gave this 3.5 stars. I did really enjoy it. It's like in the middle of the rankings for me of all my Sarah J Maas books. So yeah, I probably would have liked it a lot less if I had read it on its own. Like if I had read Empire of Storms and then I had to go and just read this, I probably would have rated it like a 2 or a 3, but I think in the tandem read, it did really manage to hold its own. I did not find myself getting bored. Obviously, Empire of Storms is the showstopper, and you do want to read this one more, but I still had a good time reading this, and it wasn't like I was bored or like hating my life at all. So yeah, I think this was really cool and a really compelling side story that ultimately you do need to read. It is a must-have. I don't think you could go into Kingdom of Ash without some key components that you learn in here. But yeah, glad I did it in the tandem read. 3.5 stars. Irene is my favorite character from this book. Now let's talk about The Big Bad, my favorite Sarah J Maas book, and I do not say that lightly, that I have read to date. This is my 10th Sarah J Maas book that I have read so far, and it is my favorite, and it is, I'm proud to announce, the first one that I have ever given a 5 star. So yes, I gave Empire of Storms 5 stars. If there were faults in this, I can overlook them because of how much fucking fun I had. There are so many different relationships you're developing over this. You have Rowan and Aelin, obviously. My favorite, Dorian and Manon, they get so much sexual tension. We get a hookup scene, like, I loved all of that. And then we have Lorcan and Elide, which definitely have the most like intense enemies to lovers kind of like storyline throughout this book. And that's going to continue even into Kingdom of Ash. So you have so many interesting romances. Adian and Lysandra's romance is also there, which I don't really care about. I love Lysandra. I think Lysandra is a fucking bad bitch, but Adian's getting on my nerves. I can't stand him. Yeah, you just have so many fun romances in this book. You have the fake dating plot line with like Lorcan and Elide, which I loved. But not only that, the plot is fucking plotting. You have so many different storylines and things you're discovering from different perspectives, and it's just so fun. It was fun. I laughed, I cried, I had a good time, and it gave me that 5-star feeling. So definitely my favorite Sarah J Maas book I've read so far, and I have read all of ACOTAR that's out and all of Throne of Glass up to this book. So the only books I haven't read are the Crescent City books, all 3, and Kingdom of Ash. So, but out of all of ACOTAR and all of Throne of Glass, like this is totally my favorite. Mastermind by Taylor Swift, coded as fuck. Like she is so smart, and this is the book where you really get to see all those little Easter eggs and those little snippets and those little foreshadowing nuggets from Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, like all of those little things, those world building plots that you maybe like forgot about or didn't really care about at the time, they come back in this book, and the way that it's done is fun, and it felt worth the wait. You know, I think maybe we could have cut like a whole book from the series of like excess kind of stuff, but who knows, maybe in Kingdom of Ash, all that stuff will come up. I don't know. But I do feel like it was worth the wait, and it felt so rewarding to get to this point, and it just felt like seeing all these different things come back up again. It was just so good. The way that she was put in the iron cage and the way that she was whipped, that I was literally reading it like I felt sick to my stomach reading that scene, and how her back with all the tattoos, yeah. So that part like got me, and there were a few other reveals that got me, like the plan that Adian and Lysandra have, or I guess Lysandra has. Adian is not happy to be in on it, but that like Lysandra was essentially just gonna use Adian to reproduce babies and then shapeshift into Aelin to pretend that Aelin is still alive in order to like continue this fake bloodline, even if Aelin was to actually use the word keys and die, because she will die, she will burn out if she uses the word keys to lock Erewhon away. So it's like, in the event that she dies, Lysandra's prepared to basically like continue on Aylin's legacy for her. What the hell? Lysandra's a bad bitch. I'm so sorry. She's just a bad bitch. Like, some of those reveals were like really shocking to me. When Rowan walked in saying, "Where is my wife?" I think I literally almost shit my pants. But yeah, overall, I had a really good time. I'm done talking about it. I think you've heard me gripe enough. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite Sarah J Maas book so far. I suppose that now brings us to the final book in the series, Kingdom of Ash. Honestly, I am a little bit intimidated looking at it. It's 980 pages. So yeah, definitely like the biggest book I think I've ever read in one sitting. But in theory, this tandem read was like 1,200 pages and I read it in one go and it didn't feel that bad. So like with that kind of being said, it kind of makes this not as intimidating going into. Once you've done these together, it's like, okay, like this is 200 less. It's smaller. I don't know. I'm just trying to like delude myself into not being too scared. I also made my little color coding tabs to match the cover, which I think turned out really good. I don't color code my actual tabs. Like when I'm tabbing the book, the colors are random. I want them to match the cover, but as for like what colors for what annotation, it's completely random. I go off vibe, but I just annotate whatever I want. I'm on page 24. Just getting started. I don't know if I'm just gonna like dive into this and finish this month. It's currently February 20th. So I don't know if I'm gonna finish this within like February or if it's gonna take me till March, April, who knows? But I will bring you along the journey. Will Rowan find Aelin? Will Aelin use the word keys? We have so many questions. Making some progress on Kingdom of Ash this Sunday evening. I'm on page 231, chapter 25. Dorian is currently in his depressed era, which I am hating. He has made up his mind that he is going to find the last word key and basically sacrifice himself and close the portals. And I really hope that doesn't happen. If Dorian dies, I will riot because he's like my favorite male character. We also discovered that Abraxos and the Wyverns can mate and that they are capable of love. And now I can totally see where Miss Rebecca Yarros got her inspo from. Here's some minor Fourth Wing and Iron Flame spoilers. Proceed with caution. But at the end of Iron Flame, I know that Xaden becomes like a little demon. And I was like, okay, Dorian did it better. And now literally seeing so many similarities here between the Wyverns and the dragon riders and the wing leaders of Manon and Abraxos and Violet and her dragons. Very interesting, Rebecca Yarros. Very interesting. The more Rebecca Yarros I read and the more Sarah J Maas I read, the more I realize that Rebecca Yarros really is just kind of trying to copy paste. I don't know, allegedly, in my opinion. But I have no interest in continuing the Fourth Wing series, so let me know, I guess, if the similarities continue in the rest of the books, if you guys are going to keep reading them. I personally am not, but anyway, those are my two thoughts right now. I'm scared for Dorian, and I think that the Wyverns mating is funny. Damn, okay, so Fenris just forcibly broke the blood oath with Maeve, which if you do, you die shortly after, like you can't survive. He broke the blood oath so that he could attack Cairn and so that Aelin could burn off her shackles and get away. And now Aelin's just fucking running, like she broke out of there. She got free, bitch, on her own. Rowan didn't even come and save her. She got out on her own, and that's period. She runs directly into the camp where Lorcan is, manages to steal one of the soldiers' swords and just starts fucking killing people, assassinating them. And it's wild because we are on the last book of the series, and I feel like this is one of the only times that we really get to see Aelin kind of as Selena, as this badass assassin. Like, for this whole assassin story that you get built up with in the beginning of the series, like, she doesn't really do much assassinating throughout the series. So it's cool to actually see her assassinate a bunch of soldiers, you know, and like save herself. Like, thank you. I would have appreciated this maybe a few books earlier in the series, but I'm glad we're getting it at some point. Now on chapter 31, and I mean, Aelin is so mad woman
it's wild. It's crazy. Oh.
Hello vlog. I don't know when the last time was that I checked in with you all, but I'm here with a little reading update for Kingdom of Ash. I'm on chapter 38. I only have 3 notes in my phone that I need to go over. I've been like jotting down my thoughts. Okay, so first of all, Fenris sacrificed himself basically to help Aelin break out and break free from Maeve's hold. And so he dies, and I was like, hell yeah, like love a character death. Nor Sarah J Maas could not do that to me, I guess. Fenris was resurrected because Aelin like managed to use the blood oath to like resurrect him. I don't know. I just thought that that was like kind of cheap. I don't care. Next, the thing that I don't like is that in Empire of Storms, we got that whole twist about Aelin and Rowan actually being mates, and that Maeve like tricked Rowan, and apparently they've known the whole time. Like, I don't know. The way that that was played out in Empire of Storms bothers me, because now in this book, like the fated mate, the mate talk, the my mate this, my mate that, it feels like I'm reading ACOTAR again. And I don't like that. Aelin and Rowan had such an amazing love story. They didn't need to be mated. I actually liked that they potentially had other mates that died, and then they found, like, I liked that story the way it was. I don't think it was necessary. And then my last note is that Adian is a motherfucking loser. He is still being whiny, still being insufferable, still acting like he thinks he knows everything. And he even called Lysandra useless. So, hate to say that I was right about hating Adian from the beginning and like not caring about him and thinking he was a weirdo, but I was right. I was right. Obviously, Aelin and Rowan have been reunited, but she is suffering from such intense PTSD that she's kind of like closed off from him, and you can tell he's like not sure how to broach their relationship, and that's sad. It's sad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. And Sarah J Maas is really, really great at dealing with like mental health issues in her fantasy. That's something I really like. Characters don't just go to war and come back and are emotionally like, slay! You know, like they actually have to deal with the repercussions of what they've seen and what they've endured. So it's natural that Aelin has PTSD, but it's made her and Rowan's reuniting lackluster. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that their reuniting moment would have been more emotional. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but they kind of feel very disconnected from each other right now, and that's sad. That's sad, but I'm going to keep reading, and I will let you know when I have more thoughts. Okay, I know I look like shit right now. It is just a busy ass work day, and I'm not in the mood to get ready. I have some thoughts and updates and things to say with regards to Kingdom of Ash. Oof. I just got to page 585, which takes us into part 2, Gods and Gates. So let's go over the notes that I have. We saw Lorcan swear the blood oath to Aelin to prove his loyalty, but in reality he only did it for Elide, and I love Lorcan and Elide. There is just something about immortal men who fall helpless to mortal women that I will just eat up every time like it's on a silver platter, and I love it so much. By the end of chapter 48, Aelin and Rowan had reunited with Chaol, Nezrin, and everyone from the northern continent. I think. I could be switching, maybe it's just, whatever, you know what I mean. I am still a big, fat, huge, gymongous Adian hater. Even more so probably, but I love how on page 443 Lysandra ripped him a new asshole though. She was like, I was once forced to crawl before men, and gods above, I nearly crawled for you these months, and yet it takes me nearly dying for you to realize that you've been an ass. It takes me nearly dying for you to see me as human again. Eat him up. I fucking hate Adian, he's a rat. Chaol and Irene finally talked about her being pregnant, but it was honestly very anticlimactic. Like, Chaol was just like, I know you're pregnant, and she was like, no way, and then we just kind of moved past it. It was a very anticlimactic scene, but whatever. On page 460, I thought it was hilarious that Sarah J Maas cleared up the whole incest rumor, you know, about how Rowan's own heritage connecting him to Mora's bloodline had thinned to the point of being in name only. Aelin was more closely related to Elide, probably to Chaol, than she was to Rowan, despite their distant ancestry. She said, I gotta clear this up because I'm tired of y'all starting the cousin fucker rumors. Yeah, I think we need to remember that like Mob, Maeve, they are like Jesus, Son, Holy Ghost vibe. Like they are so far up the bloodline that it's not like Aelin and Rowan are like second cousins. You know what I mean? So, I mean, thank you, Sarah, for clearing that up. Then we had the whole dam situation, and Lorcan and Elide almost died, and Fenris was being a little loser rat who didn't want to attempt to use his power to find Lorcan. And honestly, like, I get it, but I also don't give a fuck. Fenris is so annoying to me. I just think he's pissing me off because I feel like we're getting more intimate and nice scenes between Fenris and Aelin than we've been getting from Rowan and Aelin. And it's like, I'm just over it. I think he's just an annoying little dog. He's an annoying little dog.
Fucking little telltale rat! Okay. Anyway.
Yapping, and constantly up Aelin's asshole. I'm glad she has this new bestie that she like trauma bonded with, but I don't give a fuck about him. And the fact that we were prioritizing Fenris's feelings over Lorcan and Elide's deaths like actually pisses me the fuck off. So Fenris and Aedion are on my shit list. I do not care about them. Thankfully, Elide went, she saved Lorcan, and then Aelin managed to use her like 3-month power reserve to stop the dam and save the army. And that's basically where we are now. Obviously, Aelin has now realized that Irene healing is what like gets rid of the Vogs. And so they were like, well, we might need Irene to actually go in and try and heal Erewhon or Maeve and see if they can get the Vogue out. Like, we don't know, but I have a feeling that Irene's gonna end up having to sacrifice herself. Dorian has also finally decided he has left Manon and the Krakens, and he has gone to Morath to find the third word key. And I think he is just set on sacrificing himself to open the gate if necessary. I don't think that's gonna happen. At this point, my speculation is that it's still going to be Aelin opening the gate, but as of right now, Dorian is on his own, and we will see where it goes. How many pages do I have left? So part 2, Gods and Gates, starts on page 581. And the book is about 980 pages. So we got 400 pages left. Hi vlog. So I actually could not tell you the last time that I checked in or updated, but I'm currently hanging out with the cats while I do some chores, and I'm listening to the audiobook, and a lot is happening. Okay, before Dorian left to Morath, he has a brief encounter hookup situation with Manon, and she even propositions like, what if we get married, what if we make an alliance to kind of try and convince him to stay, but he's not interested. And instead, you know, he is interested in marrying her, but he's like, you would never shackle yourself to another man. King. I love Dorian so much, like the way he just gets Manon, but so he's like, no, I don't want to like basically make Manon do something that she doesn't want to do. So he goes to Morath, and then all of a sudden he fucking makes this alliance with Maeve, and I kid you not, I was gagged. I was gagged when I read that chapter, and I literally put, I hope he has a master plan for this, because what the fuck. Flash forward to where we're at right now. I'm on chapter 77, and he has somehow put 2 and 2 together that Kaltain's like Vogue shell whatever carcass, because I thought she died, but I guess she's not dead. Look, I don't even know, but he kind of put together that Kaltain had the final word key, and so he is about to get the word key from her. Kaltain's like begging Dorian to spare her and kill her because like the Vogue demon is still in her, even though he took the word key out, yada yada yada. Then Maeve shows up, and Dorian's like, gotcha bitch, I seduced your ass so hard, you actually thought we were gonna have this little alliance? Are you fucking kidding me? And now he is just going at Maeve. Is this the king you wish to be, torturing a helpless female? He laughed again. You are not helpless, and if I could, I would seal you in an iron box for eternity. The king I wish to be is the opposite of what you are, and there is only one witch who will be my queen. Oh my god, I literally can't. I can't deal with this. Thank God. I love Dorian. I think he could probably get away with murder at this point, so honestly, I wouldn't have even been that upset if he would have somehow managed to like make an alliance with Maeve. I would have been like, okay, plot twist. I was shook, but this makes a lot more sense. And we love to see that he always has a plan. He's not playing stupid no more. He has a plan. Here we have a filled up laundry bin of all my winter clothes. And I'm currently listening to Aelin interrogate Vernon after a lead got to finally rip him a new asshole. And then they're gonna torture him and kill him. Yay! I love seeing Vernon suffer. Woo! It's crazy that Sarah thinks that I give a single shit about Adian telling Lysandra that he loves her. I don't give a fuck. Like, thanks, I guess. Anyway. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cause my name, wishing I stay. Look at how my tears shake. Dorian is helping Irene. He's basically like projecting her power so it's even stronger. And he did a little shape-shifting to trick Erewhon. I love that Dorian is playing a critical role in this. My man. How are my AirPods going to die in the middle of Erewhon's death scene? I swear to God. Okay, I need to go get my other headphones. Hold on. Okay, we are back in business. Okay, they burned Erewhon to fucking ashes. They burned his ass into a crisp, and Irene and Dorian are still standing. We clap and we cheer. No imminent death for Irene. But then chapter 114, excuse me. What? What are we talking about? Oh, this is, I think it is a nightmare, actually. Okay, so everyone is living like their worst fear, their biggest nightmare, having to face the harshest reality right now. Like, that is what Maeve's power is doing to everybody. Okay, quick fire round. Aelin and Dorian forged the lock, went in, and they discovered that they would both die if they tried to banish Erewhon. Lo and behold, Dorian's dad shows up, I guess, somehow, and decides to sacrifice in Dorian's place. And they basically just like shove Dorian back out of the gate, and Dorian goes back to Chaos. And then Aelin and Dorian's dad seal the gate. Dorian's dad dies. Aelin loses the human part of herself. So now she is just fully Fae, which, like, if you're gonna lose either part, I'd much rather lose the human bit. So, like, congrats, girl, now you're immortal, I guess. Like, I don't understand why Sarah J. Maas, like, a part of me, like, we're supposed to be like, oh, Aelin, but, like, I think she got off pretty lucky, all things considered. But either way, she forges the lock, and in doing so, she actually decides to damn Elena instead of Erewhon, because apparently in the afterworld, that's where Elena's family is. So she like gives one last kindness to Elena and actually manages to kind of fuck up the plan and save Erewhon, so Erewhon does not die. And the gods are not happy about this because that was not the point of the prophecy. So they start attacking, and Aelin defeats them and just slaughters the gods of this world, at least. And so now she's a god killer, which is a slay. But she goes back and is like, hey guys, so we sealed the thing. Some good stuff happened, but yeah, I did lie a little bit, and I banished Elena instead of Erewhon. And everyone's like, Hafasa calls Aelin, and I quote, a stupid cow, which was fucking hilarious. Hafasa is so funny. But everyone's a little bit pissed off, besides like Rowan, pretty much, who's just happy that Aelin's back. King. Now they've marched to Orinth, and they are fighting Morath's Legion right now, and Gavriel, Adian's dad, just sacrificed himself. So we have both Adian and Dorian's dads gone, sacrificed. And nothing really major has happened with the core group, but the word keys are done, the gate is sealed, and I think all that's really left to do is to defeat Erewhon and maybe Maeve. I'm not sure where Maeve is ran off to at this point, but I think that's what's basically coming up. We are right at the final like 100 pages. Sarah J. Maas is clever, I will give her that, because a lot of the stuff that Aelin has been doing in these like past 100 pages, I could have not guessed, I could have not predicted. Sarah J. Maas really knows how to like twist the story towards the end, so I'm eager to see what these last 100 pages do. But right now, I will say I'm a little bit, tiny bit disappointed. Like it's just not giving me the big finale feeling that I want to feel after 10 books. I have a feeling that Irene is going to need to sacrifice herself in order to kill Erewhon. That's my prediction. That's my guess. I feel like the only girly that's really gonna end up gone in this situation, I think Dorian will be fine. I think Chaol will be fine. I think Aelin will be fine. I think they're gonna sacrifice Irene.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
You can tell that I'm definitely like getting to the end and I'm ready for this book to be over because I'm listening on 2.5 times speed right now because I'm just trying to finish it. Honestly, I've been reading this book specifically for a good 2 months and I still do not give a fuck about Adian or Lysandra's relationship. I like Lysandra obviously, but I still don't give a fuck about Adian, so I'm like, can we get on with it? I don't care. I love Damaris. Such a cool sword. I have the Damaris sticker that I put on my notebook because I'm a Dorian stan and I just love Damaris, I must say. Like, what a sick ass sword. So she whispered it to herself one last time. The story. Her story. Once upon a time, in a land long since burned to ash, there lived a young princess who loved her kingdom. Am I crying because Manon is going home to the wastes? And it was just such a beautiful scene with the flower and how she planted the flower so that Astrid would know that they had made it. Oh my god, I can't. I love Manon so much. Like, out of everyone that had to lose their best friend, why did it have to be Manon losing her 13? You know what I mean? Her 12. The King's Flame was blooming. My goodness. I need to process that. I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's done, my friend, and I have completed all 4 books, the last 4 books in the Throne of Glass series, including Kingdom of Ash. Let's talk about Kingdom of Ash because obviously I didn't vlog too much last night as I was finishing it. I just needed to get through it. At this point, I'm not gonna lie, a 980-page book I think is the longest book I have read ever, but this is a chunk ass of a book. Like, I say that with peace and love. It is huge. She's a mammoth. Of course. I think that's also because it's like spring, summer, it's warm, and all I want to read is like fun contemporary romance right now. I'm just not in my like fantasy bag. But overall, I ended up rating this a 4-star. I do think it was a little bit disappointing as a final book. I get why it was done the way it was. You know, the girlies end up saving the world, Irene and Aelin and Elide, and everyone gets their happily ever afters, and it's cute. It is cute. I feel like Manon was robbed, and I do feel like one of the core main characters should have died. Chaol, maybe? I don't know. He could have gone. Sarah J. Maas is a little bit afraid to like fully go there and like wreck me. So I am a little bit disappointed in that, but also happy at the same time. It's kind of like, I don't know how to feel about it. But either way, I think the way that Aelin like manipulated everybody and lied was really cool and like a fun twist that I did not expect. And it was just a good ride. So glad I read this as a tandem. Thank God I did that. Looking back at the entire series though, the one thing that I wish I would have changed is reading Assassin's Blade after Heir of Fire. Why did I do that? I listened to the people on BookTube and I should not have. This probably is kind of irrelevant at this point because if you're watching this, you know all the spoilers of the series, but like, I would tell anyone if they were going to start Throne of Glass, read Assassin's Blade first or else you just won't care, because like when you find out that Sam dies and then you read Assassin's Blade, like the 4th book, like you do not, I'm so sorry, like I could not care less about Sam Cortland. And I feel like I missed out on that because I didn't read Assassin's Blade first. And if you do, then you really get that payoff at the end. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm glad I took my time with it. I paced it out. I've seen some people do like reading the series in a week or reading, you know, the entirety of Kingdom Ash in a day. And I just feel like there was no way my brain could have computed that. So I'm glad I took my time, I annotated, and I was able to really just like take my time with the characters and learn about them. I will say at the end of everything, obviously my favorite characters, Dorian and Manon, are on top. They are my ride or dies, the loves of my life. Then it has to go Aelin and Rowan, of course. I am a Rowan stan. Rowan over Rhys any day in my book. I feel like he is the blueprint. He is everything. When he gave her the library at the end, ugh, I love Rowan. And when he tattooed the map so she could get back to him on her back, bitch, what the fuck do you mean? I'm a Rowan Whitethorn stan. I love that Aelin throughout the entire series, she still acts like a snarky girl. Like, she gets to be feminine and girly, and she gets to be a bad bitch, and she gets to be petty, but she also gets to be like the powerful magic queen, and I love that dynamic. You don't get to see a lot of characters like Aelin in popular fantasy series. So love Aelin and Rowan, of course. And then lastly is Elide and Lorcan. Oh my god. Oh my god. The fact that Sir Lord Lorcan is everything to me. Like, the fact that he's willing to like get rid of his immortal lifespan so that they can just grow old and die together. Sorry, I'm literally gonna get emotional thinking about it. I love immortal men that fall for human women. It is just something that gets me every time. Those are definitely my favorite characters of the entire series. That's the Throne of Glass reading vlog. That is the Queen of Shadows, Tower of Dawn, Empire of Storms, and Kingdom of Ash reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, comment below some Throne of Glass-esque emojis in the comments. You know, we got the dragon, we've got Aelin with her little fairy. And also, if you read the series, let me know what book was your favorite. My favorites are, without a doubt, Empire of Storms, then Heir of Fire, and then Crown of Midnight. Like, the plot twist at the end of this book gagged me, gagged. So yeah, these are definitely my favorite, my top 3 books in the series. The only one that did get a 5-star was Empire of Storms, and I stand by that. This is the best book in the series. And overall, I would give Throne of Glass as a whole 8-book series a 4-star rating. I think it is very fun, it is very good, but it definitely has its flaws, and that's okay. My favorite over ACOTAR by a landslide. I just think the characters in this world and the way that everything ties together is so satisfying in a way that ACOTAR just did not have, at least not thus far. We were only through Silver Flames at the time of me filming this. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.